What is up, gamers? It's Axiom, and today I'm bringing you a review of the Gage Chivalry Pack. The intro for this pack and the music that plays on the main webpage is pretty damn epic. This pack, however, is far from epic. This pack is the equivalent of a normal drop from an epic raid boss. Now, normally I will do a separate video for individual or similar parts of a pack, so as to shine a light on the particular high notes of the pack. There aren't really any high notes with this pack, and to make a separate video for each of these mediocre weapons would be akin to just creating more clickbait. So I'm gonna give it to you guys straight, in one video, one shot. Let's get started. Let us start with ye old English longbow. The English longbow is one of the new weapons in our lovely, well, not so lovely, Gage Chivalry Pack. Here it is. Looks mighty awesome, right? Yeah. Check out that wood. The arrow, yeah. Oh, nice looking. You get your choice of 2 mods. You can do explosive arrows or poison arrows. You can also equip no arrows for just standard arrows, as you probably know. Let us compare this to the age-old plain strider bow. Now, comparing this apples to apples here, you see I have equipped on the left the English longbow, and I have equipped on the right the plain strider bow. You can see that the English longbow is pretty much superior in every conceivable way. So you're looking at 15 less ammo with the English longbow, same rate of fire. You're looking at 3 times the damage on the English longbow as what you get on a plain strider bow. 195 on the old plain strider versus 650 on the English longbow. Now I'm not sure what's so different between these two. I mean, look at this. Okay, this is the plain strider. Got like some little strings wrapped around it, a few little Indian symbols. Looks like a arrow and a sun and maybe a bear or something. And then this one, it's like a little, looks like iron wrap and just a thing of wood. So I'm not sure what happened here. Maybe the Indians lost because they put little symbols on their bows that made their weapons less powerful than others. I don't understand why the difference in damage. But at any rate, if you like bows, then you need to get this because the plain strider is by far nowhere near as good as the English longbow. Even at 15 less ammo, it doesn't really matter because you can retrieve your ammo, and if you run low, just get more out of an ammo pack. I mean, there's no reason not to use this. It has 1 less concealment, but even then, who gives a damn? So if you like bows, be happy because, yeah, English longbow is so much better.
Alright, okay. The railway bridge. They're coming from the railway bridge. Keep them away.
Taser down!
Next up on our list is the light crossbow. Let's take a look at this bad boy. You can see it is pretty fancy looking. I mean, it's got bling on it. Look at those little bolts right there. Got some string. You know, pretty fucking blinged out, not gonna lie. Like the other ones, you get choice of 2 different bolts. You get explosive bolts or poison bolts, or you can just have regular, old-fashioned, regular crossbow bolts. So let's compare this to what I think is probably the better competitor here, and that is the English longbow. So I have the English longbow equipped, so our selected weapon is the light crossbow, coming in at 50 ammo, a much slower rate of fire, much less damage, less stability, and a little bit less threat, which we don't really care about threat. I'm kind of confused here because it's not better at all than the English longbow, and I would just say it's maybe just marginally better than the plain strider, comparing the stats there. On the equipped side, we have the plain strider. On the selected, we have the light crossbow. I mean, it just does 45 more damage, and it's slower, and has less stability, concealment, threat. I don't understand. I don't understand that. So, not the best weapon out there by any means. And last but not least, we have the heavy crossbow. So this one is, well, it's a heavy crossbow. Think Van Helsing. So pretty cool looking. Little windy thing there. Little crank. Some cool little etchings on the side. Paint looks like maybe. Yeah, it looks pretty sweet. You get 35 ammo. Rate of fire of 20, which is pretty painfully slow. 525 damage. Stability is at 19, 28 concealment, 10 threat. Now I'm really curious because this thing is slow as shit, but compared to the English longbow, which is also in this pack, I don't see why you would ever use the heavy crossbow. Unless you're trying to roleplay. If you're roleplaying, then I get it. I really do. If you want to be like Medieval Chains, rob ye old, I don't even know, like cart and stall, then yeah, I get that. Totally there, on point for medieval roleplaying. I mean, just check this footage out right here.
Bag it up and let's do another round. Oh hell, that was close. The recess is over.
So, final words as far as the main primary weapons are concerned. Basically, if you're looking for straight up arrow damage, you probably want to stick with the longbow. If you'd like to turn your primary into a sort of ghetto GL40 grenade launcher, then I would suggest going with the light crossbow and slapping some HE rounds in that thing. The heavy crossbow isn't really worth it. It's just too slow, clunky, and just awkward to kind of aim. I don't prefer it at all, and I would just honestly skip that one.
Is there anything left?
Drop the gun! Put your fuck!
Try and meet help.
Hands where I can see.
A new throwable has been added to the game, the javelin. This is probably my favorite part of the pack, though the chance of me honestly ever using this again is so close to 0 so as to be 0. So I should probably tell you something right there. First off, the javelin does a shitload of damage when you hit an enemy, over 1,000. And it's pretty cool to use, a lot cooler to use than throwing stars I think. It's also a little bit easier to use and you can steady it and kind of see where you think it might end up to get a better idea of your shot. It's a cool weapon, maybe good in those oh shit moments where you get caught between reloads, but it has the same problems as other throwables. For one, you only get 3 javelins. They are retrievable, so there is that. Like other throwables though, you have to take some time to actually aim it and then release it. Time that could actually be spent doing other things. File this one under meh. You get 4 very powerful melee weapons. The Great Sword, the Bearded Axe, the Morning Star, and the Buckler Shield. They're all pretty reasonably strong weapons with pretty good knockbacks, but they're all really clunky to use, which is kind of understandable given the time period that they come from. None of these weapons are really that special or anything to write home about, but they're cool, I guess. You can also get some badass night masks and patterns, unlocked through various achievements that you can complete in the game. So overall, this is probably one of the worst, if not the worst, DLC pack released so far. Everything in it is just so mediocre. There's no real standout. One slow shot reloading every single shot just to try and kill somebody versus, you know, pull out your Car 4, pull out your shotgun and just blow everybody up. No problem. The melees are slow. The javelin, you only get 3. And they're the same issues as other throwing weapons. It's just a really pathetic pack. The light crossbow can be pretty decent if you put explosive rounds on it. And I mean, if you just really like bows, then the English longbow is pretty good replacement for the plain strider. But other than that, not really a whole lot here. But let me know what you guys think of these weapons. Let me know what you guys think of bows in general. If you try and convince me they're good, then by all means try that, but you can't convince me they're good. They're not good, okay? They're a gimmick. Let's be honest. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I would suggest not buying this pack at all, or waiting till it's like on a 75% off sale and getting it then, but it's not a great pack at all. So, yeah, a little disappointing, but as Zach's in the Good Time Gaming, please remember to like, subscribe, and share if you liked anything you saw here today, and remember to always have a good time gaming.